Welcome to Kotlin Bootcamp. I'm Muhammad John Nasir from Tricky Solution. In this episode, I'm going to teach you the Kotlin list and mutable list with examples. Let's get started with some important points about the Kotlin and Kotlin list and mutable lists. So there are some important points that you should know before working with Kotlin list and mutable list. List is read-only, immutable. You cannot add or update items in original list. Mutable list inherit list and supports read-write access. You can add, update, or remove items. List and mutable list are ordered collections in which the insertion order of the items is maintained. List and mutable list allows duplicate and null value. So let's create some empty mutable list. We will open IntelliJ and Kotlin initialization list, mutable list with values, and let's create some mutable list in Kotlin. We can create new empty list and mutable list using MutableListOf and ListOf method. We can specify the type of items in a list. Int type, we can specify the string type, or we can specify for different data types we want. Or for objects type, we are going to use any data type. Any is data type that allows any kind of data types in a list. Let's get started with some basic one. The basic and the empty list that we are going to create is like this. Val, it is variable or value, and int list is the name of the list, and colon. After the colon we specify the list. If we want to create an empty list, we need to initialize that like this list. And why it is getting error? It needs a parameter that gets the data type. For example, which type of list we want? We want int type. So the Kotlin will create a list of with the name of int list and the data type of int, and it is an empty list. Then we can initialize that. And also we can create another data type also. For example, for string list, a colon, and we can specify the list. And then after list we can create a function ListOf like this. ListOf, and this function we can remove this, and here we can specify the type of the list we want. We want this time as a string data type. So this time here we will add the string values. For example, we can add any name here, Java, or we can specify Kotlin or something else. But here integer data types only allow the numbers, the integer. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and something else. And we cannot enter the string value here. Look at this, it will get error. Now let's see the error, what it is telling. Type inference failed, expected type mismatch, required list of int but found any. Here we specify the int but found any, but maybe sometimes we need int and Kotlin string or int data type and string data type at the same times. How we can do this? We can do that by like this, val any list, and we can specify we can make a list. We can specify the data type as any. Any is a data type. It requires object of any class, object of integer, object of string, object of long, anything. We can specify that. ListOf, again equal to ListOf. We can create 1, 2, 3. We can type Java, we can type Kotlin, we can type 1.3, 1.2. Here let's see we can type the long value or not. 1.2, see, it's getting error. Now we can type here the double also. We can type the character. We cannot type character here. Let's see C. We cannot type here. And here let's see if it is a character type. C. We cannot type a character. If it is one colon and only one character, it's a character. So Kotlin will not allow a list of string to have a character type. For this type of data type, we need the list of type of any. It will get the object of a class. Even we can create a data class. We can create ourselves a data class of car, and it get two string var name string, and also var license, I don't know, license integer. Even we can create an object of car here. Let's see, car. We can create an object of car. It should be outside. I'm sorry about this. It is inside the main. We cannot create a class inside the main function. It should be outside the main function or at the end. Right now we can create the type of car. See, car. We have that car object. And what was the name? The name of car is, for example, Lambo, and the license is 1, 2, 3. We can create an object of car. Any object we can create. So this is for list, and this list is by default not mutable. We cannot change, we cannot update any of these values if once they are created. For example, if I want to change this one value, or I want to add 5 here, I cannot change that. Let's see, int list, I want to change add a value, add here, we cannot have that. For this type of list, we have something called mutable list. Let's create some empty mutable list. By the help of function mutable list, we can create mutable list. Int mutable list, here mutable list, this is the class, and we can specify which type of mutable list you want. I want integer mutable type. Like this, it is the same thing as this list, mutable list of. This is the list, this is the mutable list. It is the same thing, but it if we create a list using mutable list, then we can change the object. Now, if you want to initialize the value, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we can change the value. Let's see, int mutable list dot add. We can add something here. Add 5, 4. We can add something. Now let's create another type of mutable list. We can create any type of mutable list. For example, a string mutable list colon mutable list. This is the object, or this is a class in Kotlin, and we have to specify the type of the mutable list, and then we can initialize that mutable list as an empty mutable list of empty, or val string. We can have a long data type, long mutable list colon mutable list. This is the class of mutable list, and we can specify the type as a long. We have long data type in Kotlin, and then we can initialize that as a mutable list of, like this. Now Kotlin knows that this long mutable list is mutable list of long data type, and it has nothing, it has empty value. Right now it is null. This was for initialization. And one more things, this is the any type 1 2 3. This is the mutable list of string long. And what if like this, we want to have a mutable list of anything, any object, we can create that for like this, val any mutable list colon mutable list, and we can specify the any, and then we can enter or we can type mutable list of function. Like this, we have a mutable list of data type of any that can include any type of data. For example, 1 2 Lambo and 2020 2.3, any value. And now this value long can have only long value 2 3 4 like this. Now by default it is integer, but in the backend if I print this, it's a long value. It can have 2.0, for example 2.4. It can have 2.3 or 3.3. Now let's see the found double, but mutable list is long. Let's create as long as a double, because it was double is different. Double has decimal point, and long is not decimal. It's like integer, but it has lots of data type. This was for initialization of the list, an empty list. This was for just creating of list and mutable list. In the next, we have Kotlin initialization list and mutable list with values. How we can create a list with the values? First of all, I want to cover initialization list using the list of. For example, I want to have a list of a string. I want to have a list of a string list. It equal to list of these strings. So I'm getting this data from bizcoder.com, and that's good. You can also check that bizcoder.com. They have lots of programming tutorials. You can also check it out. So I'm getting the error here. Let's see what is the error. How we can initialize? It want a string data types, conflict declarations, list, string val, string list. Now I want to have this as a string. I can specify that list of conflict data type colon list, and we can specify the string. And I am getting error because of this string list, because we have a string list here and also there. I want to comment this one. If you don't know what is comment, if you comment some code, this code will not run, and this code will not run. It will see as a string. These codes will not run. I'm also coding this this one, commenting this one. So like this, we can val string list. Now right now we don't need even this one. If I remove this one, the Kotlin itself know that this string list that we initialize that with the list of these strings, it knows that this string list is a type of string. We cannot now add an integer value. So how we can have any list? We can have any list, and also like this, any list and list of bizcoder.com or 2090 and anything we want. And also I told that the list and also mutable list can have null value, can have integer, can have anything. Let's see now. I want to print out this one. Println any list. Let's print 2. If I print this one, any list 2, let's see the output. I will get this one, bizcoder.com 2090 null. And what if I can also create a list with the help of this function, list of not null. If I create a list using the help of list of not null, even though we have the null value and some string here, tricky solution channel, even though we have the null value, but if we print right now the any list, the list will not store the null value. Even we are giving the null value to this list, but this list will not store the null value because we are creating a list of not null value. Now let's print this one. Look, these are the same things. We have 2019 null, and also we have null here. But here, as you see, we have tricky solution. We have 2019, but we don't have the null value here. Like this, we can create a list of using the list of or using the list of not null. We can initialize. We can create a list. So let's initialize mutable list using MutableListOf. It is very simple as it was in the list of. Same thing we have here. MutableList val and MutableList, it means the name of the list, and we initialize that as with equal sign with function of MutableListOf. MutableListOf integers. These are integers data types. As simple as it is. Now if it is mutable list, we can change, we can add value. We can enter MutableList.add. I want to add 4. Now let's print ln. Now I want to print mutable list. If I print right now, we will have 1, 2, 3 and 4 lists here. If I print here an string list, an int list, we cannot have. Let's create a val type of int list, and let's initialize that as a list of integer 1, 2, 3. And right now we cannot add any value because we are creating a list using list of. If I use int list and add function, we don't have that add function. As you see, we cannot add the value. For this, we create a list using the mutable list of. Same thing, we can also create a mutable list of any data type, mutable list of any data type. And mutable list 1, mutable list of biscuder.com, Kotlin, and etc. Now in the same list we have the string, we have Kotlin, we have string, we have numbers. Even we can have an object of class core that we already created in the top of our code here. We already created data class of core. It has name and it has license. We can create an object of that inside our mutable list. Name is Lambo and license is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the license. And if we print the value, let's print ln any mutable list, and now let's see what is the result. We will have this string, we will have this one, and we will have the core value as an object. And also we can have mutable list of anything and with null value. We can have null value in our mutable list. We cannot create mutable list of like list of not null. We don't have mutable list of not null. We have list of not null, but we don't have mutable list of not null. We don't have that function here. We'll create a null value, and if I print this one right here, we will have the any mutable list 2. We will have the null value also. Let's print out what we can see. And also what you can see here, and also one more cool feature in Kotlin, that is we can create a list and we can initialize the list by coding itself. Val int list1 equal to list of, I want to have a list, inside list. This list has three elements. And what are these three elements? I want to each and every items elements should be elements. I want to have each elements of this list should be element. What it means? This elements indicate as this elements is an index of this list. Index of this is, for example, first index is 0, second index is 1. If I print out this, let's print out println int list 1. If I print this one, so we will have 0 1 2 for this 0 1 2. Each element have 0 1 2. Even though we initialize, we have not initialized like this, but we have 0 1 2. Now let's initialize with something else. Val int list 2 is equal to list. We want the, for example, the numbers of we want the numbers of like 100 numbers, but these 100 numbers as each item. I can make an index here. See, index, we have index, so we can name anything here, and then we can use this after this dash and greater than sign. We can use this index variable every time. It is a loop. Every time it runs, it will get the first index, then the second index, then the third index, until the 100 size. It will loop through in each and every index, and then we initialize that as like this. For example, I want to have each index multiple by 2, and now each index will multiply by 2. Let's see the result. Now let's see, I have not printed that. No, list of 2. I want to see this print of that function. Now if you see, we have list of 100 till 198. So I covered till here, create mutable list using initialization function. Now I want to create a new list and mutable list from another list. Mutable list is the same element using to list or to mutable list function. What I mean by this, look, let's remove here and here also. I have a list, int list 1 2 3. Now I want to create a new list by the help of this list. Let's see, I want to create val int list 2 equal. Now I want to initialize list 1. I want to store this list for this list. Now I have this one as a list. Now let's print that one. Println int list 2. Now you can see that we can create a new list by the help of by storing the value. Create new list, mutable list from another list. We can create a list from another list. Now list 2 is a list, or we can specify the to list function also to list at the end. That it will be good because it will change the list to list. Now let's see the scenario that if we have a list and we have list 2, but as you see it is a list, but we cannot change the value of these elements, and we want to change these elements. How we can do that? I want to have these elements and I want to change something else. I can create that like this, val int list 2, and I want to initialize that as a list of not list of, sorry. I want to initialize that int list dot to mutable list. If I type after int list to mutable list, now this int list is mutable list. As you see, this is type of list and type of integer. This is a list, but right now if you see, this is a mutable list. If I initialize that as a list, let's see, list int, I can do that, but I can also initialize that as a mutable list. Mutable list of let's say integer. Mutable list of integer. Now I have these values, and also I can change these data. For example, I can now int list 2 dot I can now add the value. I can add 4, and if I print the elements int list 2, now we have these elements. We have beside 1 2 3, we have 4 also here. So I think this list will be very long video, so I will cover these items. It has lots of things to cover, but I cannot cover in this video. So see you soon in the next video with very cool stuff. I want to add list or mutable list in Kotlin. I want to combine list. I want to access item from list. This list is very important in Kotlin. That's why I want to cover each and everything in list. See you soon on the next video. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel for more videos. Goodbye.